It is I, San Estelle, with your November um, Koa reading, monthly read. It's hard to remember what's even going on these days, other than all the things going on. So, I pulled cards from the Numinous Tarot. The Numinous Tarot is a non-binary, gender non-conforming deck by Cedar, though at this time Cedar went by Noel, but they're Cedar now. Anyway, it's the Numinous Tarot, and I'm going to be reading you the typical concern, opportunity, obstacle, advantage, aversion. You know the deal. So, our concern is appropriately the Five of Candles, the Five of Wands. Can teamwork make the dream work? You know it can. You know it can. In fact, you know that's the only way the dream works. Because no one was born in a vacuum. No one was born on an island or as an island, because even an island underneath, I mean, the island's not just floating across the ocean, people. That motherfucker has roots, okay? It goes all the way under the sea. We just call it an island because of our perspective. But there's a song for this. It's by Bjork. It's called Oceania, as she pronounces it. Oceania. I think we would pronounce it probably Oceana in the Americas. But there's a point in the song where it's basically the ocean is singing to us, its people, and who it created, who we crawled out of it, right? According to most popular theories. So, there's a point where the ocean says, "You show me continents, I see the islands. You count the centuries, I blink my eyes." And it's all about how OG and old the ocean is, and how we're telling it our stories as its children, and how it's been there, done that, and seen so many of us say the same things over and over again. And so there's a really beautiful quality to that song. Bjork, Oceania. And Five of Candles as the concern. Does teamwork make the dream work? It is election day in the United States. I know not all of us are in the States, but I know that we are all hoping for the best out here, so that the trend can continue around the planet from where it has taken best root in places like fucking Bolivia and New Zealand and other places that have reasonable type of policies for the people and considerate thoughts and things. And then, of course, there's the opposite story about if teamwork cannot make the dream work, right? So then we're talking about the antagonism. Don't allow yourself to be divided. Do not miss the forest for the trees. We need the species. We need the species. We need the species. And people are going to die anyway, okay? We don't need to wish that on anyone. We don't need to expedite that, like death does not need our help. Speaking of, did I say that? Did I say death doesn't need our help? Because the opportunity obstacle, what you know about that? Look at death. Look at death's fly ass. Okay? Death is like, I'm as old as time. So, like, don't step to my job unless you are too as old as time, and know that, so that you wouldn't even step to my job, because if you knew that, you would know it was my job and you would be doing your job. You know how death is. Death is a sassy motherfucker, and also, constantly bombarded with work. People constantly trying to dip in and like take death's spot, and like death really does not need our help. It does not need our help. That being said, when it does come, it can rejuvenate or it can decimate, right? That's the Phoenix energy. Decimation, and from the ashes rises something else born of the experience, or rise nothing, remain ashes. This is the choice. This is the choice of choosing, right? Go with what isn't working or choose something else. Go with what isn't working or choose something else, which isn't to say that that too will not run its course. Ableist. That too will not go its course. But more so that, sorry, I have allergies and I don't want to leave the house and I ran out of Benadryl. So there is, that these things will go the course, and that we will see the other side of that. That it is natural, and that it is completely accounted for in the greater scale of existence, and that it is the opportunity to reconstruct, reconfigure, reassemble, dissemble. And I've written about this, and I'm pretty sure I just wrote about this on my website, but excuse me. Like, we can deconstruct, right? Like, we don't need to destroy things. It doesn't have to be this violent action. I think that humans have gotten used to dramatics, or like over dramatization of sensation, of which violence is one of those things, right? It's like an extreme action. And it is noticeable when it happens, whether that means like a lion hunting down a deer. Like, that is a moment where you're like, where it's captivating, but it's not a prolonged moment in nature. Where nature is the sustainable nature. Nature is the spectrum of how sustainable we can nurture ourselves to be like nature, whether we remember that we are nature or not. Excuse me. So death is the opportunity, and it is also, of course, the obstacle. People be nostalgic as fuck. People be scared. But what I've said to a lot of clients this weekend, because of course it was the high holy season with Samhain and Dia de los Muertos and All Saints Day. But I forgot what I was just saying. I was telling people this weekend with Dia de los Muertos. Yeah, I don't remember what I was saying, guys. It went out of my head because I was cleaning up the carpet. Let me trace it back. Let's see. I was saying it's the opportunity or the obstacle. It's going to take its course. It's planned for by existence. That, we all wanted to be here at this time, for this very exciting time on Earth where humanity was remembering itself, and that even if you do not remember yourself, you have taken the opportunity here to learn about what that is for you. And that ultimately, too, I have to say this for opportunity, obstacle. Oh, right, people, things have to come to an end. Okay, hold on, I gotta pause this and see. The funny thing, I traced it all the way back. I was saying nature, and nature nurture, and how we have the opportunity of the forgetting, because Earth is this experience that we all came to thinking, we come from an infinity into an experience of designated and agreed upon forgetting in the spirit realm. And in coming from there, we often can believe that we have forsaken ourselves, and constantly, no matter the conditioning, no matter the social constructions on Earth, no matter the forgetting, no matter the amount of delusion that humanity might go through, or rejection or negation or limitation that it goes through as a consequence of its nihilistic philosophical modus operandi, that you are never not connected to nature, the greater extension of nature, that, of course has things like violence, and of course has things along that spectrum of showing and drama and activity and action, but that does not necessitate the prolonging of it, or even the organization of it. We know that shit happens. We don't need to assume that that is the case in all ways and places, which a lot of societal structures have built themselves up around to act as if we should expect the worst of everything and one another, and then we don't even plan for the worst, which is the real psychotic part of the situation. But promisingly, the advantage and aversion of this month's reading is the whole world, the whole world, the whole world, the whole world. Of course, your world includes your perspective, right? Because you live your entire being from that. And then there is all the socialization that we go through from family, community, and, neighborhood, ancestry, city, town, state, country, region, hemisphere, climate, all these things. So funny, I had to pause it at 1:01. I mean, I didn't realize I did that because I had to blow my nose. So, dog barking, symbol of service, loyalty, and unconditional love. So we have the world at our fingertips, right? Because through death comes the next expression of what is, what there is, what is left, what is there now, what has taken over, what has inherited. And it's an important time of reformation, right? We are reconceiving and reconfiguring what kind of society and what kind of humanity that we want to be participating in. And it's not a uncomplex conversation, and it's not an uncomplex narrative, and there should be no expectation that it would be in an infinite universe that is infinitely diversifying, and infinitely extending and including things, right? For we are all here, all within it, all necessary, because existence can make no mistakes because it's infinite. Mistakes are associated with temporality. If you are not subject to time, then things just become experiences. They stop having the significance from a linear perspective. So, does teamwork make the dream work? Do or don't we rise from the ashes? And what world within us awaits us? I always say you got to invoke the world that you want to die in now. You have to invoke the future self that you want to now. You have to be on the road to that place. You have to be on the road to that self. And we certainly have to invoke the world that we claim we want when we are no longer so fixated on the binary polarity argument. The binary polarity argument can also convince people that it's not possible for all people to exist, but there's already this natural democracy called existence where everything already does exist, and so there must actually be a cohesive way for that all to come to synthesis, harmoniousness, right? And so I will include a theory of the Buddha, a theory of quantum physics, and a theory of Taoism, and a theory of Ifa, which is like there have been many versions of the universe, there have been many versions of Earth, there have been many versions of heaven, and we are just the continuation of this experience. There will always be harmony and synthesis, just like there will always be discord and monotony in an infinite existence. And the point is not to eradicate that. The point is to find in the infinite ways in which we can appreciate that, so that we can all coexist as we already do, but along with creation, with that sort of very high brow, high frequency neutrality, equilibrium in consciousness. So I hope this reading serves you well before the whatever is going to take place. It's not going to be decided today in the United States, but a new dawn, a new day, a new dawn, a new day. Another song you should listen to, Nina Simone, of course, the Nina Simone version. And then Bjork, Oceania. I'll see you all in December.